Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Brandy, and it's time for the February's wrap up. Okay, y'all, February usually go by fast, but February went at a smooth pace for me. I really enjoyed February in all aspects, including reading. So let's talk about the books that I read. I read 11 books. A few of these were arcs. A lot of these were physical copies. I'm so proud of myself. And I did get to my TBR jar pick for the month of February. So let's just get into the books. So the first book that I read, it was actually February's book club pick for my book club, Booked and Busy Book Club. Information is always in the description box if you want to join. We read Don't Cry For Me by Daniel Black. You guys, I think I already talked about this book. I think we all kind of already talked about this book, but it was so good. So we're following a male main character. His name is Jacob, and he is dying. And while he's dying, he is writing letters to his son named Isaac, basically apologizing to him. And he's apologizing for the way he was a parent, right? Because his son is gay and he really just couldn't accept the fact that his son is gay. So he's writing letters, and in these letters, he gives us a background of himself, his upbringing, who he was raised by, you know, how things were back during the times he was raised. And you guys, this book really was so good, okay? If you hadn't read it yet, just pick it up. Like, it was just so good. I felt sorry for both Jacob and Isaac. I felt sorry for Jacob because he didn't get the strength or the courage to apologize to his son until he was dying. And then I felt sorry for Isaac, which we don't even get his point of view. I felt sorry for him because it's not until his father is getting ready to die before he gets said apology. Jacob's story is a story that we all know. If you have any elders in your life, we all know how they were raised. And so how they were raised plays a big part in how they raise their children and how they view society and what we will call today's societal norms. This was a wonderful book. I love the discussion that we had on Fable. We had some good discussion in Fable. I gave this a 5-star. I plan to read Isaac's Song, which is Isaac's story, the son, immediately after, but I did not get to it because I just needed this one to sit on my mind and on my heart for a minute. So hopefully I get to Isaac's Song in April. I don't see myself getting to it in March, but 5 stars, highly recommend. You need to pick it up if you haven't already. The Perfect Ruin. Y'all already know I made a vlog where Bookstagram picked my read because I was kind of like in a genre funk. And I was like, I need to read something else because I was reading some heavy hitters like at the end of January into February. And I needed something that was different. So I had Bookstagram pick my next read. I'm not going to go deep into this one because I already told you guys how I felt while reading it because it was a reading vlog. But Shanora Williams, she writes multiple genres. If you hadn't gotten into Shanora Williams, I say you need to get into Shanora Williams, okay? If you like popcorn thrillers, if you need something to get you out of a reading slump and you want to change the pace of your reads, pick up a Shanora Williams book. If you are a fan of Frida McFadden, then you will like Shanora Williams books. I'm not going to go over this one really because I already did a vlog and I hate to be repetitive, but what I can say is I gave this book 3.5 stars. The twist wasn't like, oh my God, to me, right? But the twist was a good twist. Really good. I recommend that you pick it up. So in the month of February, I joined an in-person book club, and I've already told you guys about that as well. I think I was a lot more chatty than I typically am this month because I did a lot of vlogs. So you guys were probably following along with me during every reading activity I did in February, plus majority of my reads. So I did join an in-person book club here in my city, which I'm so excited about. And for the month of February, we read Let Me Love You by Alexandria House. Now, this is a part of a series. It is book number 1. I think this series has 4 or 5 books. I plan to continue the series, but the book club, she says she don't really read series. Like, she doesn't continue. She just likes to read the most popular book out of the series and then go on about her day. But I really loved it. I did this one via audiobook. I talked about this one a lot, so you would just have to go visit one of my previous vlogs. It's a good romance. It is about a female main character and a male main character. They're both divorced and they are single parents, and the female main character, both of them went through terrible divorce, and their exes are shitty and made for one another, and they are both single parents, and she is just trying to navigate being a single mom while dating. She wasn't really looking for love, but love found her. So she was just trying to be a single mom and navigate dating. And then she meets Big Show. Big Show is a rapper, and he's a single dad, recently divorced as well. Love at first sight, baby. He was on her tough. He was on her super, super, super tough. Okay, so this book was really, really good. I gave it a 4 stars, and like I said, I do plan to continue the series eventually. I was actually sent an art called Running No More by J.T. Dupuy. I think that's how she pronounced her last name. I'm not sure. I think I talked about this one a lot too. It's a queer romance novel. We have 2 main characters. One name was Ade, and the other one name was Ade and Steven. Ade and Steven, they both have some tragic things to happen in their past that they are running from, and in the midst of them running from their tragic past, they run into each other, and they are trying to navigate overcoming what happened in their past while also trying to fall in love with one another. Y'all, this book was so good. Like, this was the perfect book to read around Valentine's Day. It was just perfect. I buddy read this with one of my Bookstagram friends, and we ate this book up. It was so good. The romance was good. I think one of my favorite parts in the book is he learned how to say I love you in 32 languages. Okay. He learned how to say I love you in 32 languages. Like, okay, yeah. Set the bar, set the standard. There was spice in here, but it was not a lot, and you didn't get it throughout the story. We probably got the spice at the last 15% of the book, and then once it started, it just continued, but it wasn't disgusting. And y'all know how I am about my spice. I don't really like a lot of spice. Sometimes I do, but majority of the time I do not. But this one was done very, very well. I'm looking forward to more books by this author. I read it as an e-arc, and then the author and a publishing company sent me a copy of the finished copy. So I'm so excited about this. I gave this a 4 stars, and I highly recommend. Take my hand, y'all. This book was like the #1 historical fiction that everybody on my side of the internet read in February, and I ate this book up literally in one day. I immersive read this one, and I think that was the best. The narrator was so good, and this story was just so freaking good. I couldn't put the book down. I couldn't put it down. We are following a nurse. Her name is Civil, and she is starting a new job, and her job entails her administering birth control. specifically the depot shot to little girls, black girls. And she is giving it to an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old. And when she finds out that she's giving it to an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old, she was like, what? They're babies. And so we follow the journey of her giving them this birth control, figuring out why they're even being given this birth control, amongst so many other things. You guys, this was my first novel by her, by Darlene, and it's not gonna be my last. I got her newest one in my Amazon cart already, or if not Amazon, wherever I get the book, I'm gonna get the book. It's on my wish list and I'm getting it. She's coming to Memphis. She's actually from Memphis. I just learned that she's from Memphis, which is so cool because this has like a dual timeline. It has present and past, and the past is in Alabama, and then the present, she's in Memphis. So I really, really love that. But the author is coming to Memphis for her newest release that is dropping, I think in April. Yeah, because it's dropping right around my birthday. So when she comes, I'm taking this one in my new book to get an autograph. This one was amazing. 5 stars. This was one of my top reads. And Don't Cry For Me was my other top read for the month of February. I have one more because I had 3. But yes, if you have not picked this up, pick it up. Pick it up. I don't care what format you pull it up, get it. It's so good. I highly recommend. So the next book I read was actually an ARC. It was an e-ARC, and it's called Sunshine With You by Lena James. This is my first book by Lena James. It will not be my last. It will not be my last. She has been added to my list of contemporary romance authors that I will be reading from continuously, okay? This is book 2 of a series, and in this book, we get Ashley and Hunter. They are best friends slash my best friend brother type of deal, and it is a friends to lovers trope, and I already talked to y'all about this book. Y'all know I hate friends to lovers, but this book was done very, very well. Like, it was something different. I explained to y'all why I don't like friends to lovers, and their situation was slightly different. And because their situation was slightly different, it really, really made for an amazing story. I plan to circle the block, go read book number 1. They're interconnected standalones. So book number 1 is about 2 other characters, Hunter's sister and her boyfriend, and how they met. And then we get Hunter and Ashley in that one as well. And then I had to inbox the author because we got introduced to some other characters in book 2, and I was like, please tell me we getting a book 3. Please tell me we getting a book 3, because it's gonna appear messy, but it's not gonna be messy, but it's really, really good. So I gave that one 4.5 stars. It would have been a 5 if it didn't have my least favorite trope in it. Highly recommend y'all pick up something from this author. I'm gonna continue reading from Lena James. 24 seconds from now, my first Jason Reynolds book, and it will not be my last. This is about teenagers having their first time, and we get it from a male's perspective, which is so refreshing. And I know I already talked about this as well. So refreshing to get it from a male's perspective, because we always get the first time from a female's perspective. And so I really, really like this. I like the format that the author did this book in. So he did it kind of backwards. So he started in present time, and then he went like 24 days ago, 24 hours ago. It was weird. It was weird. Like, the chapter names was weird, but he went back in time. So he went back from, like, he started how the male main character is feeling today when he's getting ready to have his first time. But then he's going back so that we can see the lessons that he's been taught about preparing for his first time. And then at the end, we get back to his first time. So I thought that was pretty dope. It is a bit confusing if you're not reading the chapter titles, and I love that it did have chapter titles. Love this book so much. Love this book so much. I did give it a 3.5 star because it is a YA novel, and Jason Reynolds literally writes for middle graders and young adults, literally. So his writing style is specifically for them and not for mature adults. But this book was really, really good, and I'm still going to highly recommend it, specifically to moms who have boys or dads who have boys too. I think this will make for a great conversation starter, or to even bring that topic up with your sons, specifically in high school, I hope. But yeah, very good. 3.5 stars. If you have a son, pick this one up because it's good. The Avs. Okay, so I was scrolling Instagram. And you guys know how we get the ads in between stories, right? Because I'm always scrolling the stories on Instagram. And you know how we get the ads. So this popped up on my ads, and I noticed the name. It's called The Avs. And I'm from California, and in one particular neighborhood of LA, or in LA period, every street is an avenue, and it's numbered. So you get 10th Ave, 9th Ave. And so this book is in a community called the Avs, and we are following a young lady named Azora. And she is basically learning the importance of her name, the significance of her name, because her name is Zora Hurst. And we get to follow her while she just navigates in her neighborhood, and she's learning how important community is, right? She is learning how the impact of the community is grand, and how the community that you grow up in, like long term, they help you compose your life story. And it really makes you think. It really makes you think, because I was thinking while I was reading this book, I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool, because when I am reminiscing and I'm talking about friendships and I'm talking about people that I've known for a long time, one specific neighborhood we lived in for quite some time, and I was in middle school, those friends were at my wedding when I got married. So yes, this one was really good. It's short, so it's a novella. I think it's only like 120 pages. No, like 124 pages. Very good. I tabbed a lot. It had some funny parts in it. She did mention a lot of authors that we like in this one. And yeah, this is very good. And if you want a quick read, I think you should try this. If you're from LA, if you're from Cali, pick this up. I gave this one a 5 stars. The next book I read was called For However Long by Kyra Cachet. And that is a novella. And it's very short, so I can't give you guys too much information about it, because it's so short and it gets straight to the point that if I even tell you anything about it, it's going to be a spoiler. What I can say is the female main character goes through a breakup, and she finds out some things about her husband that impacted their relationship. And from there, she just had to figure life out on her own. And she gets really bold, and she definitely starts, dibbling and dabbling into the dating pool. And I really love that for my girl. She she did some bold stuff, some stuff that I probably wouldn't even do. And y'all, I'm kind of bold, okay? I'm the one who sent the DM to my husband, okay? But what she did, I was like, girl, okay, all right. So yeah, we're just following her navigate through this little bold move she did. Because once she makes this bold move, and then the story kind of goes on. And so it was pretty good. Writing style was fair. This is my first time reading from the author. I think one thing I disliked about the book is some parts of it was unrealistic to me. When I read romance, I like to read relatable, realistic romance. Some parts of this one was like, girl, this man ain't do that. This man ain't really do this, or nah, this ain't how it go for real. Ultimately, the book was really good. I enjoyed it. Just some parts I was just like, I don't really see nobody doing that, but okay. I gave this novella a 3.5. And then I read this one because I'm a part of the art team for this author, and she has a new one coming out called Endlessly. By the time this video come out, the new novella, which is part 2, has already come out, and it's basically just a continuation of this story. So I really can't give you guys any details about that one, but what I can say is I think I gave that one a 4-star because it kind of tied up some stuff and it was a little bit more realistic. So we do get some realistic stuff, more realistic stuff in the second book. So I did like Endlessly more than I liked For However Long. So yeah, I read both of those. And the last book that I read, and I think y'all, this is gonna be my favorite little fantasy, Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Barron. And you guys already know Kaylin Barron has become me and baby girl's auto-buy author. I was recently in like a little reading slump. I didn't know what to read. I didn't know what to pick up. My daughter was like, you supposed to be reading this one, remember? And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So she was like, yeah, it's time. It's time. Yeah, I picked it up, did a little few chapters just to test it out. This story moves fast. Okay, I was knee deep in it on the first day. I was knee deep. So this is a Cinderella's retelling, which I love so much. And I want to give you guys the synopsis because I don't want to spoil it for you guys. So just a little piece of the synopsis, not the whole thing. So it says, now teen girls are required to appear at the annual ball where they are selected as wives by men of the kingdom. Any girl without a suitable match is a forfeit. 16-year-old Sophia would much rather marry Aaron, her childhood best friend, than parade in front of suitors. At the ball, Sophia makes the desperate decision to flee and finds herself hiding in Cinderella's museum. Listen, this is good. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Kaylin Barron, but she is a part of the LGBTQ community. So those are the type of books that she writes. So Aaron is a girl. Sophia is a girl. So instead of her wanting to marry off to a prince, she wants to marry Aaron, okay? And y'all, this story was so freaking good. Like, I don't want to give y'all much. But there's a character in here named Constance. She is so funny. She is so funny. Like, this book is a page turner. I've been tabbing. Me and my daughter have been talking about it. And I think what I loved about my reading experience while reading this is my daughter already read it. So she was checking on me like, which part are you on? Which part are you on? Literally having that chat, okay, as I was reading. So this was a good time. I rated it a 5 stars. And then what I noticed is, because we have not read all of her books yet, we've read the Poison Heart duology, but she has another one called Sleep Like Death, and that one is a Snow White retelling. So I'm excited about that one. I really want to read that one. And then she has a horror novel, and it's called You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight. So my daughter really wants to read that one as well. I think I'm going to let her read that one first and then pass it over to me. But the other one, I think I want to buddy read that one together because it sounds really, really good. So yeah, I read 11 books. I think I'm missing one because I had another arc and it was a fantasy with a whole bunch of short stories, which I really can't give you guys the synopsis about. I'll put the picture right here though. If you are trying to get into fantasy and you don't know where to start and you don't want to commit to like a long 300 to 400 page novel, I highly recommend you guys picking this one up. It's composed of a lot of short stories, quick, straight to the point with all of the fantasy vibes, okay? As y'all know, this year, fantasy is gonna be, we gonna be locked in. I'm reading every fantasy I got on my shelf this year, period. Okay, because I got the books, I need to read them. I'm reading every single fantasy. So now I need to pick from my TBR jar my one book, because y'all, I got 2 book clubs, I got 2 buddy reads. And then I got some other stuff that I want to read in March too. So I don't think in March I'm going to be able to read more than 1 book from my TBR jar. So let me grab it so that we can go ahead and pull a title out. I'm kind of scared. Let's see. Let's see. And I'm scared. I'm just scared because I'm scared. Like, I don't know what titles I got in here. I forgot. I'm getting ready to pull. Got it. It better be something. Okay. If it's a series, I'm putting it back. I can't do a series in March. Yeah, I got too much lined up. So let's see. Hold My Girl by Charlene Carr. Okay. I love this for me. I was literally just looking at this book on my bookshelf all week. Let me show y'all. Oh, and it was blurred by Charmaine Wilkerson, the author of Black Cake and Good Dirt. So this is the book that I pulled. I'm really excited about this. I was gifted this one. 2 women, 2 eggs, 1 life-changing switch. Oh, Catherine finally has it all. She spent her entire life striving for perfection, obsessing over her spotless home, maintaining her pristine reputation, building her perfect family, and her hard work has now paid off. After 7 difficult years of trying and failing to conceive, Catherine gives birth to Rose, her IVR miracle child, and at last has what she's wanted most of all. But one thing isn't quite perfect. Rose's pale skin doesn't match Catherine's complexion, and an irritating doubt begins to grow in Catherine's mind. I remember this one. I think this is a story where the IVR stuff got swapped. Yeah, I think that's it. But I'm excited about this one. Keeping it going with the Black books, because that's why I was afraid to pull from my TBR jar, because I still want to read Black books continuously. So yeah, add this to my TBR card. Hopefully I'm able to get to it, because like I said, I got 2 book club picks, 2 buddy reads, an arc. Libby finna drop a whole bunch of books off on me. So yeah. But let me know if y'all read this one, because I'm so excited about it. But yeah, that's all I got, y'all, for this reading wrap up. Let me know what y'all read this month. What was your favorite book read this month? Have y'all read any of the books that I read? What you got planned for March? Let me know down in the comments. If you made it to the end of the video, you already know what to do. Drop a hey girl, hey. Like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, ta-ta.